This is the fourth time we're trying to record it.
Yeah, because of me, of course. So today we wanted to showcase the differences between the MTs and the Tracers, particularly the 7 series. And we wanted to start by showing the differences in the comfort itself. So on this bike, as you can see, the knee is around 90 degrees, slightly less than that. It feels very comfortable for my height, 182 centimeters. And there is slight weight on the wrists, so the handlebar is pretty much close to the rider. The back is almost 90 degrees up, and it makes for a really nice ride. On the other side, on the Tanya's bike,
Not so much comfort.
yeah, she's 177 centimeters
It's
tall.
different. I remember when we were driving a long ride with the MT07, you had some tension here in your upper back, like this muscle.
Yeah, that's correct. You have slightly more weight on the wrists and the knees are slightly more bent. It all makes for a more sporty position, whereas this one makes for a more comfortable ride. Now the other difference in terms of all this comfort is the suspension. On the MT, the front forks don't have any adjustability, whereas the rear fork has the preload and rebound. And the suspension overall is cheaper than this one on Tracer. On the Tracer, on the other side, you have also option to set up the preload and rebound in the front forks as well. And when you ride, you actually feel these differences because this one is more forgiving on road inaccuracies. You feel more relaxed, the ride is overall more enjoyable. Whereas the MT, it gives you more feedback from the road. It's more harsh, it's more stiff, so you feel like you can understand what your tires are doing more in some way, and you can ride more aggressively, more sporty, and it really feels in day-to-day ride. Now, in terms of the acceleration as well, what I've noticed is, first thing, I actually thought it's because of the windshield maybe, because when you have the windshield you don't feel the acceleration as much and you feel like the bike is slower, but in this situation between the Tracer and the MT actually pulls stronger. It has stronger acceleration, it feels more lively, whereas the Tracer is more tamed, but Tracers are tuned more to provide the more comfortable ride in terms of the RPMs, so the RPMs feel they're a bit lower on this bike, and the bike feels more suitable for cruising, highway, or just put it in the 6th gear and forget about it. Whereas the MT always feels like it wants to pull, it wants to go somewhere. What can you say, Tanya, about this topic of how do you feel on those bikes when we rode together?
I need to hold tight on each bike.
On each bike?
On each bike, if he gives like some gas, I need to be prepared.
And in the beginning she didn't like any top cases, but now she got used to them, so she likes to ride like...
Yes, now I'm so much more comfortable. Because if I don't hold, I just get like this stuck on the...
Okay, so the other differences is just because of this geometry of the bikes, these Tracers tend to be more top heavy. Now, in terms of the actual Tracer 7 and MT7, it's not so much noticeable as in terms of the Tracer 9 and MT09. Tracer 9 feels much more top heavy and much more like a long trip focused bike. Whereas this Tracer, it actually feels very agile, very sporty. It doesn't feel much more top heavy than the MT, but still you notice that difference.
But
now,
maybe, can we just slightly go back to the comfort side? Because here we have a big windshield, and now driving with the big windshield we can really notice a difference when we're on a highway, because when we were on a bike like this on the highways it was so much louder in our helmets, and when we have a windshield like this, like we don't even need to yell in our like microphones and systems. We talk normally and we hear each other normally, and there is not like we are not as tired after the ride as much as when we don't have the windshield.
there is no whistling noise in the ears. Yeah, like I did some research now. Based on my research, this windshield, this is actually a copy of Yamaha Sport, bought from AliExpress, but it's actually similar in quality. And this windshield actually pushes the air on your chest. From my experience, the wind should either hit you the whole body, or it should be till the chest. If it crosses the chest and hits the head, you will get turbulent air and it will not be pleasant. On the other side, you can also put a very tall windshield which will actually go above your helmet. So you don't want to put any windshield that's hitting, that's pushing your the air towards your upper chest, because then it will be very much turbulent and whistling, and so that's why the stock windshield on the Tracer, as you can see on the right side, your left side, it's actually hitting somebody directly in the head who is 182 like me, slightly more, slightly less. So what you want to do is, on the Tracer, most riders, most owners tend to put something like this one. So it's a Puig windshield with add-on small windshield on top that actually help push the air. Like, many riders think like this should be put very much up, but what I heard and what I actually tested is you should put it somewhere to be like a parallel with the windshield. That's why when the wind approaches over here, it actually pushes the air more upwards, and then the wind that comes over here is actually neglected, and both of them are just going away from the helmet.
Can some of that like throw the air also above my head?
Yeah, this one can, but that one
Not
cannot.
so much.
Yeah,
no.
that's why this is preferred one for the Tracer if you want to have the clean air experience, so no air, car experience, basically. Yeah, on the MT, on the other side, we tried that Puig touring screen, but it's not good because it really pushes the air up. So this is the best solution I found for the MT, and this is the best solution you can actually have on the Tracer, if you are somewhere high as I am. Now, in terms of the actual connection to the bike, like I said, based on all of this that I noticed previously, that I mentioned, here on the Tracer you feel that the ride is a bit more comfortable, and like I said, you don't feel so much in control, I can say, as with the MTs. With the MTs you feel like you can ride more spirited rides, and you feel like you're one with the bike more than with this one.
Also with the passenger.
Yeah,
I was also the one.
that's correct. Like, we enjoyed, actually you need to change some things which we made the video previously with the MT, and you can really make it one bike to do it all. Now, nosedive is more present with the bikes that are like more tall in front, like this one, and that basically means if you're braking hard, you will notice the nose diving down more than with the MTs, which is normal, but with the Tracer actually it's not pronounced as with the some bikes, because the suspension is not so much on the soft side. It's more for the road, yeah, more for the road and more for the sporty ride. Now, the other things we wanted to mention are the, yeah, here I wrote the space. The space on the bikes, like, most people would like think, oh, it's definitely easy choice. You have more space on this bike. That's true, but not as much as you would think, because this portion here for a rider and for the pillion is not much bigger than on the MT.
Really?
Yep.
I did not notice.
Yeah, if you just,
Wait, let me do some girl math.
what's the go?
This is the girl math. But this one seems bigger.
Yeah, it seems bigger. That's what I said. Like, from my experience, like, it's like that. Maybe the seller will want to make you like, what is going
This
on?
is the girl math.
Okay. So yeah, I think I said it correctly, right? I didn't lie anything. It's just with the MT there is more slide. It's like you will slide down, so basically you need to do something with this rear seat if you want to make it comfortable for the pillion.
But it's important on which roads you are driving, because with this seat in Germany we didn't have as much as stress, but when we came to Serbia there was some stress. I was always like leaning on Stefan and he was so unsatisfied.
Yeah, because in Germany the roads were smoother, and here in Serbia you have lots of holes and everything, so That bike definitely needed some changing. Now the interesting thing about both of these bikes is that the sound that you get from the bikes is the same, and if you want to change anything about it, you need to change the whole system, exhaust system. And what I found from my experience is that you can only get those aftermarket exhausts that are tiny, short and small, which basically for the two-cylinder bikes I don't really prefer, and I feel like most people don't know how that those bikes, those engines can actually sound. You can
How
notice they sound like boom. Yeah, they sound pretty deep. You can hear that from the Tenere, for example. Tenere has the same engine, and if you hear the Akrapovic over there, it's big. It's actually making the sound thunderous. It's really nice, really pleasant on the MTs because they are so minimalistic bikes. They put some small exhausts that you can change it. You put it, and you get some small difference in terms of the sound if there is decibel killer inside. If you remove the decibel killer, that means that it will be very loud. So there is nothing in between, which I find very disappointing since these engines tend to sound very, very nicely. What are you doing over there?
We neglected this bike. I felt that it felt sad, so I came a little bit next to it.
Now, the interesting thing as well, in terms of the carrying capacity, unfortunately there is not a big difference again. So MT07, as I remember, is 171 kilograms carrying capacity, and here on the Tracer it's 174. So it's only like 3 kilos, which is nothing. So you don't get as much carrying capacity with those bikes. I mean, depends on how much you want to put on it. For me and Tanya, it was plenty of space, and the bike, the MT07, handled really nicely. Only when we put like 3 cases, so 2 side cases and 1 top case, it felt like it's the rear side of the bike drops lots, but still it's controllable.
That's the reason actually why you changed it.
Yeah, because we are crazy.
Yeah, is that too much information?
No, that's not too much of information. I wanted you to say something now about these 2 bikes. Like, what do you
About
think, honestly?
The pillion side of the bike.
Okay, pillion side.
Well, I don't know, because when we had this Yamaha, we kind of changed everything with the seat and all. Like, we went from Serbia to Greece without a problem. The only problem for me was the heat, because it was summertime, but from the comfort side it was great. I didn't mind the cases from the side. The top case was like super for me, super, because I could lean back and stuff like that. And on the Tracer 7 we only had like test rides and test drives, but I could definitely feel that coming in the like fabrics state, Tracer 7 is much more comfortable, and the placement of the leg is much more violent. Let's actually sit.
Where to sit?
Here or there.
That one is neglected.
Yes, but okay. So when I sit on Tracer 7, like, it's very nice. For me, what I prefer is that I'm like almost in the same height as Stefan, because I'm already high, and when I sit like this, then all the wind is coming towards me and I feel like I'm gonna fall off the bike. And this is, for my taste, like in the boundaries of the like highness of the seat and stuff. So I would say this is a good pillion bike. Like, every ride I had on it, it was very comfortable and nice, and I felt like safe.
Yeah, actually we had a problem deciding between the Tracer 7 and the our Transalp. It was quite a decision to make.
Yeah, it was actually like a tie.
We're gonna make another video for that. Let's sit on the MT to show how it looks on the stock MT.
Okay.
Since you proposed that one.
I'm ready.
We need to move a bit in the front so you sit.
Here.
Okay.
So already I'm feeling this slide moment, and like this seat, it's not so much comfortable. After half an hour I would already feel some discomfort, but doing some aftermarket stuff or like custom made seat, it can really like give a 10 out of 10 riding experience.
So I think we said everything. Like, do you have to say anything like from your side of thoughts about these two bikes, not about the Pillion, just your thoughts?
No, it's funny to me, like I think of them as the same bikes but very different.
Yeah.
You know, like
it's
when
correct.
you have twin brothers or sisters, but you can tell them aside. This is how I feel about it.
Yeah, like it all depends on what you want. If you want more comfortable ride, and if you have a Pillion, and if you want maybe to ride on a highway in a colder weather, if you don't like wind for some reason, then I guess Tracer is the way to go. If you want more connected ride, if you want more sporty ride, more spirited, if you ride not far away maybe because you don't have so much wind protection, and if you're maybe mostly alone, or if you want to change those things on the MT, then you can go for the MT. So it's up to you. I
Yeah,
hope we
both are
helped
great.
something.
I give them both like high grades.
What's that high grade out of 10?
I don't know. This one for me was 10 out of 10, but this one I didn't drive enough to tell. But like the first impression, also 10 out of 10.
I would say the same, yeah. I love these bikes. So I hope we helped with some of the information we gave, and that would be everything for now.
See you in the next one.
Yeah, very soon. Thanks for watching. See you.
Bye.